I'm Gloria Strode, and welcome to Straightforward. I am so excited today to have our one and only Judge Ben Richardson. Welcome, Judge.
Miss G, welcome. Thank you for having me again.
I tell you, you are just the epitome of what success looks like. This is me and my humble opinion. You are very humble, respectful, and as I said to you earlier, every female that I know, and I'm over 60, that knows you, we all concur on the fact that your mother trained you well, you're very humble, and you are an excellent role model. And we need to have you out front to say to the young men, we got a lot of them on the street struggling, look at Judge Ben Richardson. You can be successful in whatever you do, and you can maintain your character and your integrity. And that is what I constantly say that to you, and I applaud you.
Well, Ms. G, I don't know what to say. That's just so humbling for me, and I don't know what to say. The only thing I can say is thank you from the bottom of my heart. But you're right, and I tell young people, especially young men, I said, you have a foundation. If you have a mother, a grandmother, or even a teacher, just somebody that believes in you, then you have won already. And all you have to do is just follow that path because they gave you that foundation. Right,
but you had some very wise women. Of course, your dad was a soldier and war, because of war, he transitioned to the other side. Right. But your mother was a woman of strength, substance, and character. And she ensured that you got a good education.
That's true.
But she also made sure you had a good, solid Christian foundation. And so all of that, you moved it through your career, and you can see it in your courtroom.
Yes, ma'am. And like I said, I can't thank her enough. My mother, like I said, she was my rock.
Yes.
And the Lord blessed me with a wonderful wife, Valerie, and she has continued that role. She's my best friend. She's the love of my life. I take it for granted. I don't tell her enough.
Well, most men do. You all are so busy with other things. But
That's
your
true.
mother got you ready. Either as a mother, we can get you ready. You can be prepared or unprepared. So your mother prepared you to be a good husband and a father.
She did. She did. The first thing she taught me was to respect myself.
Yes.
And the second was to respect my fellow man and fellow woman. And I think those two simple traits just allowed me to develop a philosophy in life, to basically just treat others how you want to be treated. Respect always come first. And that's one thing I always wanted to make sure, even when I'm in the courtroom and everything, when I look down on somebody, they are Mr. and Mrs. because they deserve respect just like I deserve respect.
Exactly. Regardless of why they're there.
That's true.
They're still Mr. and Mrs.
That's right.
And that is the word about you in the community. And sometimes we have individuals that have become so drunk with their success until they get removed from the fact that everybody is on a journey and everyone deserves to be respected. If you respect people, then most times they will respect you.
That's true.
So in the courtroom, you don't have people just all off the chain, because you're addressing them. You're on the bench, but you're not looking down your nose at them.
Exactly.
And that's what I've been told. And I know people from all across the spectrum, from my neighborhood that I grew up in, in other parts of life, in my past life, my career. And that's what people say. You're going to be fair, but you respect people.
Oh, yes. Fundamental fairness, that is the key. One thing I want people to say when they come to my courtroom is that, I might not agree with Judge Richardson's decision, but he was fair.
Exactly.
And he treated me with respect. Those are my two goals, and that's what I try to have with every case.
Right. So we were blessed to get you here in Columbus, and the last time you were here a few years ago, we talked about how you finished HBCU.
Right.
The Howard University. We're going to give them honor today. And then got your law degree at Georgia.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then you came looking for Columbus, Georgia to find that first job. And I want you to share with our young people what that first job paid. No, because Judge, what happens is sometimes we have all these degrees.
Right.
And just because you graduated and you have a degree don't mean you can be the president of the college today.
That's true.
Just because you have a law degree, that will not automatically put you on the U.S. Supreme Court.
True.
You really have to have some experience, life experience and work experience.
Exactly.
So your first job coming through what it was, Bibb City, Columbus, Georgia, and you got here, and how much was it paying?
$27,000.
Right.
And after 6 months, I got a $3,000 raise, and I went up to $30,000. I thought I was king of the hill.
You were a big spender.
I was a big spender. I was like, oh man, I said, you know, now I can put a lot of more stuff on layaway.
Not take it home, but put it on layaway.
That's true.
No, but
That's true.
actually, you didn't really even know where you were going when
I
you and you were working for, coming to interview with, who was it?
Maureen Godfrey. She was the Solicitor General at the time. And I was with a small general practice firm in Athens, Georgia.
Okay.
And you talking about, you know, like you said, Ms. G, $27,000, that was a lot of money for me, because coming from something that you got paid, like maybe you never know when you're going to get paid unless the client came to the door.
Right.
And my first client
If you didn't kill it, you didn't
That's
eat.
true. That's
right.
true.
See, people don't understand when you're self-employed, you're always working. You never really sleep.
I tell people, I said, my first compensation was an apple pie, because there was a lady at church who needed a will done, and she couldn't afford to pay me. So I just told her, I said, don't even worry about it. I said, no, I pay for whatever I render services for.
Right.
She said, what's your favorite dessert? I said, apple pie. And she paid it, and I took it back, I took it back to the firm, and they ate it.
And they were happy.
ate it.
Exactly. But see, and that's where your blessings, that was a seed that you sowed. And so that apple pie was the beginning of all of these other wonderful blessings that followed. So you came, you heard about Columbus,
Right.
Wasn't really sure about us.
That's true. I mean, I'm ashamed to say and everything. My mind was fixated on Atlanta, Georgia. That was my hometown. I was like, I'm gonna get back to Atlanta. I know I wanted to be a prosecutor because I wanted to get some litigation experience.
Right.
Columbus, Georgia, like you said, it was a blessing from the Lord, and I can say that honestly because I never had Columbus, Georgia on my radar. I applied for a job in DeKalb County, a suburb of Atlanta, and they didn't have any openings like I told you last time.
Right.
And they said Columbus, Georgia has some openings. And I didn't share this part of Ms. G last time, but when he gave me the card to call Ms. Godfrey, I threw it away. I'm not gonna be honest. I was like, I'm not trying.
Was not in your plan.
I was like, I'm trying to stay in Atlanta.
Right.
But ironically, he went on and forwarded my resume by fax to Ms. Godfrey. She called me, and so I said, well, hey, you know, I'll go down
Just
for an
go on
interview.
and give it a try. All right.
And like you said, came down not expecting much. But that's the beauty I think young people need to realize, that sometimes your plans may not be God's plans.
Yes.
And when you succumb to God's plans, your blessings will just flow.
Exactly. He's already got it laid out. We just got to walk in it.
Exactly.
But what we're going to do now, Judge Richardson, we're going to take our first break, go to our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
All right.
We'll be right back after word from some of our sponsors. Straightforward is brought to you by Chalk by Quincy introduces Excellence Redefined, timepieces of the finest technology, luxury, and class with tons of style at chalklifestyle.com. Renal Associates, LLC, a team of physicians dedicated to excellent kidney care with 5 convenient locations to serve you. Stark Avenue, Columbus, Bradley Park, Columbus, Lafayette Parkway, LaGrange, East Burkhalter Avenue, Buena Vista, and Springs Street in Warm Springs. The Framing Factory and Art Gallery, specializing in quality art and framing for all your needs. Original etchings, limited editions, and prints. Call Carlton Dickey today at 706-324-3823 or visit the Art Gallery at 1325 17th Street in Columbus.
Walmart's reason for supporting Thurgood Marshall College Fund is simple. We like to win. And we have been given a lot of exposure to some incredible talent. And we also believe that it's a part of our responsibility to the community to give back. This is a great opportunity to do both. It's been a wonderful experience for us through the years. We've appreciated our partnership. We believe in return on investment, and we have definitely had a remarkable return.
Come meet your new best friend at Paws Humane.
Adopting from your shelter makes sense. You get a great friend checked by our vet. They're fixed, all shots, microchipped, all ready to make you and your family's life better. 4900 Milton Road, Columbus. Paws Humane.
Come meet your new best friend at Paws Humane.
Welcome back to Straightforward. I'm continuing this awesome conversation with my great friend, Judge Ben Richardson. Judge, before we went to the break, we were saying that God always has a plan. And like you said, initially you threw the card away, but somebody was working on your behalf, forwarded your resume, you got the call, and you came to Columbus for the interview. Kind of showed up Bibb City and wasn't really sure where Bibb City, because a lot of folks are new here, so they didn't know that Bibb City was actually separate from Columbus proper before Columbus became a consolidated government. Okay, so you were trucking on down the road trying to get to that $27,000, big money, big baller, but you were willing to work with someone to learn. Even though you had the law degree, had one of the best degrees from a HBCU, but you had to put yourself in a position where you could learn the next step.
That's true.
Okay.
And I think that every stage in your life, no matter where you start, if you start at the bottom, it's preparing you to go to the top.
Yes.
And one of the things I learned as an assistant solicitor was, like you said, how to research, how to make sure that I had the proper evidence, how to make sure to try a case from the ground up. I had to give a shout out to my good friend Darrell Didell. We tried a lot of cases together when I first came to town.
When you all were very young and dapper lawyers.
True. Yeah, more hair too and everything.
Well, now your kids are all growing up, and we were just saying that time has really moved.
Right.
So you all used to be the new kids on the block. But you're not now. You're the seasoned parents.
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
But you were willing to get at the ground zero and learn. That's true. And work your way up.
That's true. And we had some great mentors. Like I said, Judge Allen was a great mentor. Maureen Godfrey was a great mentor. And I think one of the things that really helped us was Melvin Cooper was a defense lawyer. And Melvin, he's a heck of a defense lawyer.
They say he's very brilliant.
Oh yeah, he made us work. And so, like you said, just having that partnership with Darrell, and also having those challenges, it really molded you and helped me become a great litigator, in my opinion. I mean, my humble opinion.
But you didn't think just because you were Howard grad, University of Georgia Law School, that you could just go in and be in charge of Miss Godfrey.
Oh, no.
No, you knew that you needed to learn and respect what she was teaching you.
True.
Those were the tools. Yeah, you knew how to be a lawyer, but this, you were moving into a different type of role.
True.
And you needed to learn from the ground up.
Oh, yes.
And that's what made you great. That's why now you went from being her assistant to being the solicitor.
Right.
See? Because you learned well.
Exactly.
And from there to state court judge.
That's true. That's
so
true.
You had to go through the steps.
That's true.
Right.
That's
and
true.
so when it was time to move, and what did she do so you could move up to become state court judge?
She got promoted.
Solicitor.
Right. She got promoted.
Okay.
And then that left an opening, and then I was promoted to chief assistant. There was a person in between us, Roxanne Daniel. And then when Roxanne Daniel became a judge, then the Governor Barnes interviewed me and appointed me Solicitor General.
Really?
So you're right. So I got a chance to see, each facet of being a prosecutor, from assistant to chief assistant to being a solicitor. And like you said, it gave me that confidence that I can handle any situation that comes in the office.
Exactly. And so you had enough time, study. We talked about that. You must know how to read.
That's true.
I don't care if you're a lawyer, a nurse, a teacher. Reading is essential.
Exactly.
And as a judge, I know you read a lot because there's so much case law and every case is not the same.
Right.
Right. Okay, so you were, how long were you the solicitor?
10 years.
10 years?
10 years.
So it didn't happen overnight?
No, it didn't.
Okay, so you already went from the assistant solicitor, then the chief, and then the solicitor.
Right.
Then all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, 10 years after the fact, but then you were moved into state court judge.
Right, and like I said, I never had any inkling to become a judge. I thought Solicitor General, then I can maybe go back home to Atlanta, work for the Attorney General's office, maybe.
But that was your plan.
That was my plan.
That wasn't God's plan.
Exactly. And so when, Judge Allen, like I said, I can't give him enough credit. He really put that seed in my mind saying, you know what, I think you'll be a great judge. And I said, no, Judge, I don't want to be a judge. I said, I give y'all credit. I don't want to do that.
It's a lot of work, long hours.
It is.
Yes, it is. A lot of family sacrifice.
Exactly. And community sacrifice, too, because a lot of people don't realize that as a judge, sometimes you have to insulate yourself to make sure that you don't cause any conflicts of interest.
Right.
Or you know, like I said, ethically, you don't want to have any ethic violations. So a lot of people don't understand that part of it. But I think one of the things that Judge Allen made sure that he really drilled in my head was that I believe in you.
Yes.
So you need to believe in yourself.
Yes.
And that's where you say it comes across. Like I think young people, especially millennials, they need to realize that their mentorships, they are important.
They are.
And you have to accept the good and the bad because they know what's best for you.
Ooh, see, that's powerful.
and
Because sometimes people get confused that if you have a relationship or if it's a mentorship or a friendship, we have to agree on everything.
Exactly.
But if someone is truly your advocate,
Exactly.
if they see you on the wrong path, they need to tell you.
Yes.
If
Yes,
they
ma'am.
want you to be successful.
I agree
Right.
wholeheartedly. Otherwise, they're not being a real mentor because they need to be able to tell you honestly and sometimes constructive criticism what you need to do to succeed. And you have to be able to listen because if you don't, then you're doing them a disservice and they're doing you a disservice.
Exactly. And you, I know, so well trained, not just in terms of education, but the home training is just phenomenal. I mean, every mother I know with a grown son is like, whoo, that being. But you would never do anything to dishonor Judge John Allen and what he sowed into your life and the sacrifice.
Right.
He was good. Now,
Yes, he was.
He would have to straighten you sometimes.
Yes.
You said, maybe that's not the best thing.
Yes.
Even now, you seek counsel from him on certain things.
I
you
do.
know.
And yourself too. Don't leave yourself out because I
Okay.
expect you to hit me upside the head too. and everything.
Well, I don't want you, because I expect for you to be a Supreme Court judge
I
one
got
day.
it.
And we might have to take a slower route. And I
Right.
always tell people there are different routes to get to where you're trying to go. For
True.
example, if you're going to Atlanta, you might want to drive State Road,
True.
which is more scenic and slow. But if you're in a hurry, you might want to go Interstate 185.
Right.
But the bottom line is we just want to get to Atlanta.
Exactly.
We're accomplishing that goal. So, in the midst of coming to Columbus, the Atlanta girls lost out, and our one and only Valerie ended up marrying you, and you all have a lovely son.
Yes, we do.
So
We
good
do.
for us.
Yes. Yes.
And so, how long have you all been married?
Come next month, April 4th, 20 years.
20 years.
20 years.
And the baby is 16.
16.
And trying to learn how to drive.
Yes. Oh,
See,
yeah.
it really seemed very quickly, didn't it?
It did. We kind of
Yeah.
flew by and everything. So.
Yeah, but that's what it's all about, and that
It
was
is.
what your mother and your grandmother and they were training you up,
Right.
to do. So what we're going to do now, Judge, we're going to take our final break, go to our sponsors, and we'll be
Okay.
right back. Okay, we'll be right back after word from some of our sponsors. Straightforward is brought to you by Warrior Outreach. Contact Command Sergeant Major Retired Sam Rhodes or Kathy Rhodes. The Hugel Foundation, enriching the community through Christian music support, community outreach, and the Georgia Through Photography Project. For more information, call B at 706-568-6431. Progressive Funeral Home, family owned and operated since 1952. The George Ford legacy of high standards continues today in the compassionate and professional services provided. A touch of dignity for those who care. Progressive Funeral Home, 4235 St. Mary's Road, trusted by generations. Best Care, transforming minds and bodies, leading the way in the latest techniques of medical weight loss and wellness. Certified in family medicine and bariatrics, Dr. Blunt is ready to assist in the transformation of your mind and body. Call today, 706-221-6477, or visit bestcarecolumbus.com. East Alabama Endocrinology, educating and caring for those living with diabetes in Alabama and Georgia. 1400 Bradley Lake Boulevard, 3320 Skyway Drive, Suite 602, Opelika. Take charge of diabetes and live your best life. Kia Chambers School Board at Large, the Gold Star Program. Paving the path to success through academic achievement, student empowerment, leadership development, and citizenship. Encouraging all students to reach for the stars. And welcome back to Straightforward. I'm continuing this fabulous conversation with the one and only Judge Ben Richardson. Judge, you're the total package. I mean, really,
You're too kind. You're too
I
kind.
know that I am biased, but it's okay. at any time when you need someone to speak on your behalf, I can be your publicist,
Yes, ma'am.
whatever it is, and you don't have to send me notes. Because I can speak to what I've seen
Yes, ma'am.
about you in the community. You're a part of the Omega Psi Phi, the
Fraternity.
100 Black men,
Right.
always mentoring. I've seen you speaking to the junior marshals and the lupus people, anybody. I
Right.
mean, you're always out in the community, very active at your church,
Yes.
which is important. What would be the pearls of wisdom that you'd like to share with our young people?
Basically, two things. One, patience is a virtue, and respect. Respect your elders, respect your mentors, like I stated earlier. I think those two traits you have to have ingrained in you if you want to be successful in this world. I know a lot of young people, they want it real fast. I'm using my son as an example.
Right.
And
They live in a microwave world.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. They do. And I love to tell him, I said, Justin, I said, I wasn't always, man, this age. I was your age at one time, too. So you can't hustle me. I said,
They've been there and done that.
yeah, you
Right.
know, like I said, I know he's going to kill me for saying this, but,
Right.
he doesn't like to go to bed at night. I said, okay, well, it's time to get up,
Right.
So he'll get up and everything, and he'll go, get ready. And I hear the water running, bouncing no light on. I'm like, come on, man. I've been there. I've done that trick. Yeah.
He's trying to get a few more
Yeah,
minutes of sleep,
exactly,
turn that
exactly.
water on, make Dad think that he's up getting
Exactly,
ready. Right,
exactly,
but he couldn't
exactly.
take the advice
Right.
to go to bed early.
Right.
He's going to push that envelope, but it comes with the price.
That's true. That's
Right.
true. And another thing too is respect. Like I said, he has a lot of young friends, and I give them credit. They're very respectful. They say Mr. Richardson.
Right.
But I noticed that some of them they call other parents by their first name, and that's just not my style.
Right.
So because I think respect, because when they respect the elders, then comes with respect. Comes wisdom, because that you basically get that wisdom from your elders because you respect them.
Yes.
Well, if you see them on your same level as you might not really take that with a grain of
Wow,
salt.
that's powerful. No, that really is. And so it's good to have very good home training, like you said. Patience is a
Right.
virtue. Then we got to have a moral compass.
Exactly.
Everything we see on TV, I tell people, a lot of that is just how people make their living. That
True.
is really not how they live their personal lives.
That's true.
And
That's
then
true.
a lot of our young folks try to imitate that.
That's true.
Right.
And I'm not trying to downgrade television or anything, but now we see a lot of TV shows and movies that anything goes.
Yes.
And it's
It's
just
scary.
Exactly. It has no boundaries sometimes. And I think a lot of times young people feel like, well, if there's no filter, no boundaries
Right.
in the real world, why should I have it in the business world or in the
Right.
social world?
Right.
And I think it bleeds over. And I think a lot of times we need to go back to the old ways. That's just me.
I
That's just
believe
my personal
I do
opinion.
too. Everything is not public.
True.
Some things should be private.
Right.
And one pastor said one Sunday, if you're not advertising, take your shingle down.
True.
So what you might wear to the club or the party is not appropriate in the workplace.
That's true.
And we have folks go out looking for jobs, not to put anybody down, like they're going to the club,
Right.
and they don't understand why they didn't get the job.
That's true.
Then they want to say it's because of something else.
Right.
And I'm looking at them like, no, because you can't look like you just left a bucket of blood and think
Exactly.
that, the cafe, and think that you can work in the business and be the face.
That's an excellent point. I was talking to some young men the other day. And I said, you know what? I said, let me ask y'all something. I said, how would y'all feel if I came in the courthouse and I was sagging?
Ooh, I know.
They said, Judge Richard, we wouldn't respect you. I said, okay, then if that's the case, then how can you expect people to respect you if you're sagging?
Exactly.
They looked at it with a blank stare, and I was like, well, I hope that y'all see that disconnect that y'all doing.
Right.
On one hand, you're saying you wouldn't respect me if I was sagging,
Right.
but when you feel you can sag because you're young,
Right.
no, it's gonna be the same mindset.
Exactly. And your physical presence has a lot to do with the way people receive you.
That's
'cause
true.
That's the first thing that they see.
First impressions are always
Right.
important.
Okay, and so at your court, I know you do a lot of different trials. So
Right.
what exactly is your primary focus? I want to make sure we share that with our young folks.
Civil and criminal. With civil, it might be medical malpractice. It might be personal injury. It could be contractual. Criminal is just misdemeanors. But misdemeanors can be anywhere from vehicular homicide in the second degree, driving under the influence, possession of marijuana. We've seen a lot of cases of possession of marijuana. driving license suspended, so and theft by shoplifting. So we see a lot of different cases in terms of misdemeanors, but we're seeing a lot more possession of marijuana cases.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. And I know in other parts of the country they have made that legal.
Right.
It is a concern because, you know, once people have things in their background, it makes it difficult for them
True.
to get a job.
In the military.
And in the military. And I know they flew a flag for you over there in the war zone, because we had some young folks that had a misstep
Right.
early on, and of course you were able to help them out, you know, with first
Right.
offender and things like that. And because you, like you said, that wisdom is like, okay, well, we had this, but you can't make any more mistakes.
True.
But now they are serving the country
That's
very
right.
proudly.
Yes.
Had a plaque for you and flew a flag in your honor.
They did. They
And
did.
that's really what it's about.
Yes.
It is
It
changing
is.
lives and making the country and our community better for people.
Exactly, because we all win when that happens.
We all win. I
all
like
win.
that. So where's your court located in case people want to set up a field trip and bring the children? No, I think the children need to see.
Okay.
They need to see you sitting there.
Well, the government
As a-
center,
yeah.
7th floor.
Uh-huh. And that's downtown.
Downtown.
Because, you know, this show is in other areas.
Right, that's true.
Okay.
Downtown Columbus, tallest building downtown, 7th floor, and we're in the state court. And if you come on there, just let me know. And like I said, I love to have young people who want to just watch, you know, teachers who want to contact me, because like you said, giving back. Because when I was young, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to meet my first lawyer till I got to law school.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. So we want them to see you.
Right.
Because, you know, we still got to get to the place where we can have more people that, you know, look
True.
like us in those positions.
Exactly.
And in order for people to do different, they have to see something different.
That's true.
If all you've ever seen is this over here,
Right.
you've never seen that. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? So that's
Right.
what we want people to do. And they can also find you on the city website.
Right.
And your email is there in case teachers or churches or other organizations would like to reach out and just have you come and speak. I think your story is wonderful, powerful. We have to always give honor to your mother who
Yes.
moved on
Yes.
as that special angel. But she did an awesome job.
thank you.
I'm so very
Thank you.
proud of you. I have no shame. If you need a cheerleader, you know, always just call on me. I am down for it because you have walked the walk, you have talked the talk, and you have made us all very proud.
Right.
So thanks so much to Val and your son, and we appreciate it, and we have to have you back again.
Yes, ma'am.
All
I'll
right.
be here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. This has been straightforward. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. Until next time, be blessed.